This is my awakening happening on screen for people to watch.
Yeah.
I was not prepared for that to happen today. I'm really curious. I really want to bring in one of my spirit guides. I'm a bit scared.
These are dowsing rods, and you can ask yes or no questions.
I want to know if she's one of my spirit guides.
Yes. Oh, that's a big yes.
Oh gosh, I'm stunned. I literally am like, whoa, that was just a lot. Like, whoa, that was a huge yes.
Oh,
Oh, that was double rod on the neck. And Tia, you're not moving these on your own.
I can't. They
Oh,
spin.
wow. So, okay,
They
they spin at
spin.
the bottom. I didn't know.
Yeah. There's no way I could do anything. Yeah. No, this is totally. I
These are
can't.
my spirit guides.
Yeah. You guys let go. Let go. See, they let go. They're letting go. Okay. Take control again. That's a good way to show people, because people be thinking you're controlling. I can't control these.
Oh, I feel a bit emotional.
They're not having me channel anything. They said no.
Interesting that they're not allowing that channeling to come through. My intuition is that if that happened, I probably would have not believed you.
Yeah, that's what they're. So you just follow your own intuition. How about that?
That was cool. Hey, beautiful soul. Yes, you. You are beautiful, whether you identify as female, male, trans, alien, fairy, witch, human, daughter, son, mother, sister, brother, grandpa, grandma. You are beautiful, and don't you ever forget to be you to the full. Thank you so much for stopping by and clicking on this episode. It has called you for a reason, and that is because it matches your frequency and your vibration, and there is a message in it for you. Before every episode, I sit in meditation and I ask for those who are meant to benefit from my conversations be guided to it. If you resonate with this episode, please subscribe, like, comment below, and even better, share this episode with another being. Now, when we share our information, it helps to bring consciousness to as many beings as possible. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for spending your time here and working on yourself to find out who you are so that you can shine your light for others and help the consciousness of the planet. Now, without further ado, let's dive into this week's episode. Hey, it's Melissa, and welcome to the Purpose Search podcast, where I discuss all things science, spirituality, and purpose. I hold conversations with people who are incredibly knowledgeable in their field and have found their purpose, which I hope will spark something inside you to listen to the call of your heart and your intuition. Today, we welcome Tia, who is an intuitive healer, founder of Healing Gurl, who helps spiritual seekers integrate their practices to feel grounded, connected, and aligned. She's certified as a spiritual life coach and healer, and trained by world-renowned medium James Van Praagh at the School of Mystical Arts. She brings a unique perspective shaped by over a dozen years in healthcare as a nurse and an anesthesia professional. Her earthbound mystic approach bridges earth wisdom and mystical insight, showing people how to honor their complete spiritual nature while creating authentic transformation in their daily lives. Tia, welcome to the Purpose Search podcast. It's so great to have you here today, and I cannot wait to dive into your story.
Oh, I am so pleased to be here, and it's such a pleasure to finally get on here with you, Melissa. It's a
Thank you.
blast to be to even know you, and I am so
Oh, me
appreciative
too.
for the invite.
I love speaking to you every time we speak. I
Yeah.
feel like I learn so much from you. So thank you so much for coming on. Now, if you are new here today, welcome to the Purpose Search. Every episode, I start with a short breath exercise to drop us into the body and get present with the conversation as we come onto screen or we're listening through our ears. So today, please do not do this if you're driving, but I invite you to close your eyes if you feel safe to do so. But you can also take a soft gaze in front of you if that feels more comfortable. So today we're going to imagine that we have a bubble of protection around us, a sort of translucent or whatever color you would like to imagine. I want you to imagine that we have the sunlight coming and penetrating through our crown chakra, down the centers into our body, down through the third eye, through the throat, through the heart, the solar plexus, the sacral, and the root. And then we're going to breathe out a long exhale, letting go of any blockages or stagnant energy. So we'll do that again. We'll breathe in the sunlight, penetrating through all the chakras. Imagining that bubble of protection around us, and we're going to breathe out any energies and stagnant blockages. We'll do it 2 more times. We'll breathe in the sunlight. And breathing out a long exhale. Last time, we're going to breathe in a biggest breath today, breathing lower down into our body. And breathing out. Imagining that that bubble of protection is going 2 more inches bigger and wider outside of our field. And when you are ready, bring your attention to your fingers and your toes, open your eyes and come back to screen. Welcome,
Thank
Tia.
you.
Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us. I always start my conversations with the question of what do you do, but I like to just reframe that to what lights you up and what sparks joy in you, because that feels
Oh,
more
honey, I
truthful to
love
me.
helping people. That has been my life. Like, when I look back at it, now I understand what I was being prepared to do. As a child, it was a weird thing, but adults will even sit and have conversations with me about what's going on with their lives. It was almost the weirdest thing to have adults ask my advice. So I used to always be the one that people will just spill the tea, like their whole life to me out of nowhere. I didn't even know people, and they would just come up to me and talk. So I always felt like I was um, the listener. Like, I listened, I would sit and listen, and then they would ask me, "What do I think?" And I would give my advice. It would be, you know, it felt like it was coming from somewhere else. It wasn't coming from me. And they would be like, "Whoa, this little
Mm.
kid gave like the best advice." So throughout my lifetime, I started noticing that people would just come up to me and want to have a conversation out of the blue about what's going on in their life. When I worked in anesthesia, in my office, my employees would just drop in, sit in my office, like, "Listen, I need to talk with you. Like, I really value your opinion." And so that's what I would get all the time throughout my life. So I noticed that, okay, I am the person that really can talk and heal and coach people through whatever they're going through because I had a very traumatic childhood. So I knew I was getting prepared for today, for where I am right now.
Mm.
Yeah. So,
Oh, and we are going to touch upon a lot of that in a moment. But first of all, thank you for sharing
yeah.
that and being so vulnerable so quickly. Um,
Yeah.
because I think it's going to resonate with a lot of listeners. It's not a coincidence that if they're listening today, they're tuning in for a reason. There's a message here
Yeah.
for them, and thank you for sharing
Yeah.
that. First of all, I want to dive into your human design and your star signs. So can you just explain what your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign is first?
So my sun sign totally describes me as a Gemini. Like, yes, I was that Gemini since I was a kid. I was 2 people. And then my rising
Mhm.
sign is Sagittarius, which I am expressing right now. In full capacity. I am definitely a Sagittarius, and my moon is a Capricorn. So I'm interested to hear, Melissa, what you got to say about my human design because all I know is that I'm a
A
manifestation
master
generator,
generator.
whatever. That's all I know. I'm like, what is that?
So you are a manifesting generator 1-3. So a manifesting generator, so generators and manifesting generators make up about 70% of the population, and they have this consistent life force energy that comes through them all the time. So when they are fully aligned with in their purpose and their joy and what they're doing, they can go for ages. But manifesting generators are slightly different to generators because they have the capacity to do so many different things all at once. They'll dive into this thing, and then they'll dive into this thing, and then they'll
Mhm,
dive into that
mhm.
thing.
That's
Um,
me.
and yeah, that's you. And then the 1-3 is the profile. So I am also a 1-3. The one line is the investigator, and the 3 is the martyr. So the one line is where you just need to dive deep into something and know everything about it, Googling, ChatGPT, everything about it. And then the 3
Mhm.
line is like the trial and error. So that's where you will try something, you'll learn from your mistakes, and then it will lead you to where it will redirect you to your path and your purpose.
Right,
So
right.
that's the 1-3.
Okay.
And the life incarnation cross is an interesting one. I've not seen this one yet. It's the right angle cross of planning too. So the four gates are the sun sign and the earth sign. So we've got the 16, 9, 37, and 40. And your purpose is focused on creating and nurturing your community, often through planning and structuring resources and contributing to the bigger picture of a group. It's interesting
Mhm,
because we pulled a tarot today, and that
mhm.
said, see the big picture, which is the giraffe. I'll
Yes,
show that for everyone who's listening. So it's a
exactly.
giraffe there, and it says, see the big
That's my
picture.
animal.
That's
Yep.
yeah, that's your animal, isn't it?
That's my animal, giraffe. Yeah.
So you're here to influence others by demonstrating how to organize life, manage resources, and create stability for the future. So does that resonate with you at all?
Absolutely, because that's what I do. I help people get
And I think we got
grounded.
confirmation with the giraffe there.
Yes, yes, get grounded, connected to themselves and their spirit team, and align with their true purpose with themselves, and to be able to do it in a way that brings them joy. You know, you have to do it from a space of joy. So, yeah, it totally aligns with me. It's like what I've been doing for a very long time without knowing.
Yeah. And you know what? It's interesting you say it like that because without knowing, you just did it and you were just following your joy, and and I guess for me, I did do that in my life as well. I was following the joy at the time, but then human design came to me and I was like, whoa, what's this? This is crazy. I love this. This is so cool. It bridges science and spirituality together. And it just
It's
like
beautiful.
it was so beautiful. And so now I'm
Yeah,
fascinated finding everyone else's human design and incarnation crosses and learning about their purpose. And so it just beautifully marries it all together for me. So yeah, it's just a
yeah.
little tickle for the
Well,
listeners
that's your
there.
investigative side, right?
Yeah.
So, you're like, "I wanna know more about you."
Yes, so true. Tia, take us back to the beginning. Like you've been on this spiritual path now for 25 years,
Yes.
and I can't actually imagine how that must feel for you because for me it's been 2 years and I feel like I've been in a washing machine, tumble dryer, airplane, thrown out the airplane, come back. I don't know how you've been doing this for 25 years. So,
Well,
tell us a little
yeah.
bit about that. You were a first lady of the Methodist Church and you were married to a
Yes.
pastor at the time.
Yes.
Can you take us back to that moment in your life and what was it like for you then at that time and how did
Yeah.
you come to your spiritual awakening?
Well, to be honest, it started when I was a little girl, but it was pushed away because I would see my great-grandmother would come and visit me a lot,
Oh
and
wow.
I would tell my family about it, and, like, I would have times where the veil was very thin for me as a little kid. Let's put it like that.
How old were you then?
I was, maybe about 4,
Oh
4,
wow.
5,
Mm.
and it started then, and then it kept progressing, and then, my parents are like, "Don't say that to people because 'cause they're going to, really, be a little bit startled," because I would say things to them that they were like, "How does she know that?" Or, "How did"
Mm.
like, "What?" and it would just, stop people in their tracks because I started at a very young age not knowing what I was actually doing. But my parents were like, no, 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 and I started asking questions. Of course, you're going to church. I was raised Baptist. And then eventually we became Methodist. When I went away to college, my parents went to another church. And then that's how I met my husband, my ex husband. And I became a first lady. I was in the church very heavily as a child. I grew up religious, a Christian. And the thing to do was to get married to the best person you could possibly get married to, which was a pastor, right? That was the ultimate, is to marry someone that was totally in with God and had a connection.
When was that turning point for you that you were like, I can't be in this relationship anymore. I can't do this church, going to church anymore. I can't be the first lady anymore. What? Because that must have been quite a scary moment and takes immense courage. I guess what I'm asking is like, what was that turning point for you to be like that snap, that last straw on the camel's back to be like, enough, I can't do this anymore?
Well, I think there was a multiple things that happened, but the snap was when we went to um, therapy together. When we noticed that there was problems after the marriage. It first started when there was deception. When he told me that his mother was dead and she was not dead, she came to our wedding, and yeah, and there was things I started finding out, like he was married multiple times. I did not know that. He deceived a lot of people. Like he deceived my family and deceived me. And then micro neglect. It was like like going out to dinner with his kids without me, things like that. He was married prior. And I thought I was his second marriage, which I was not. But he would do things without me. So it was like small little microaggressions that were happening that I started noticing. And he would tell me things like, you don't need to work anymore. Um, you don't need to, you're fragile. You need to stay home. Things like that, like constantly telling me that I'm fragile, that I didn't need to work. And so that would lead to more control, right? So if I'm not
Mm,
working, I'm
mm,
financially dependent.
mm,
Um, so that was the thing that really started making me open my eyes. Like, why would you not want me to work? Like, I don't have any kids. What will I be doing all day? And we had our first session, and during our first session, I started feeling like something isn't right here, okay? But I just went along with it. And so throughout the sessions, um, our therapist finally figured it out and was like, "You're not doing the work to keep this relationship together. You're not doing the work. Like she's doing all the homework that I assigned to you guys to do so that we can come together and discuss." And he said, "Well, I'm not the problem. She's the problem." And that's when it snapped for me, that moment when he
mm,
said, like,
mm,
that's when it snapped. He thinks that I'm totally the one that's the problem.
mm,
I am responsible for whatever is happening in our relationship. It's my fault. So that's when it occurred to me, like, I can't I can't do this. And she was
mm,
like, "Well," and when he said that he wanted to, when we were trying to figure out days to date one another, and the assignment she gave us is to date one another, like, get back into dating like you did prior. He said, "Well, I think I can put her in my calendar."
sorry, I don't mean to laugh.
"I think I can put her in my calendar." So he was going to schedule. He said, "Tuesdays, I can meet with you." So it turned into, yeah, exactly. So that's when it started all unfolding, and then she looked at me and said, "Honey, is this what you want? And I said, no, this is not what I want in my relationship. And she said, well, okay, this is our last session and I will meet with you if that's what you would like. But I think as of right now, I can no longer help you two together.
Mm.
And that's because she knew right then that he totally shut down. He was out. And that's when I found out when she told me later on, she said, he came to visit me prior to coming together for these sessions. So then that was it. I left. I left with my dog, went to my parents' house, and that was done.
So you found a true connection now to the divine beyond these systems and beyond these institutions. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how that story unfolded for you?
So that started right after I left him. I no longer trusted the church. I didn't feel connected to the church like I used to. As a kid, you grow up in there, your friends are there, everyone is there. And I started to look into things myself. I'm 50 years old. I'm about to be 51. So back then we did not have ChatGPT. We didn't have the internet
Mm.
like we got today. So you had to get books. Okay. So you had to research things a little bit differently. And we had the internet, but it's not like it is today.
It was a dial up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
So yeah, yeah. AOL, so it was
Yeah.
really it was like it's a
Yes.
little different back then, right? So I connected with people, more so, like
Mm.
spiritual people, and spoke with them, my aunties and people that I realized were not going to church. Like, I'm like, why don't you go to church? And they had their own point of views. I had cousins that were, you know, Buddhist, and they were like in different they believed in different, principles and they had different ways of looking at the world than I did, and they were more open and free and, going to pilgrimages, and they were, like, doing all the things, and I'm like, "Well, what is this?" And I started asking questions, and that's how it unfolded for me and
Mm.
me finding that God is within and you don't need to give your power to someone else to
Mm.
connect to the divine.
Mm.
He's always been there. It's always not he or she, it, whatever you want to call it, universe. It's always there. It's,
Mm.
it's there. And you don't have to go looking for it. And then that's when it dawned on me like, it's me. It's me. I can connect directly
Yeah.
with God and have a relationship. I don't have to go to someone else or, you know, have, Jesus do all of the heavy lifting for me. Like, go, give it to him and then he'll wipe it away and, you don't have to do the work. No, I have to do the work. So then that's when I started doing a lot of shadow work, looking at um, myself, what I went through as a child and going through some very heavy things. So I started doing shadow work pretty early in my life and ended up in a ayahuasca journey. I was called to do ayahuasca with the Shipibo tribe in Peru, in Pococo, Peru, and did that. And that was an amazing experience. Um, and I laughed the entire time. They were like, "We want what she had." She so, um, my shaman said, "You have been doing the work. You're liberated and you have been doing the work." And so, um, yeah, I work with my spirit team and connect with my spirit team. If I have questions, they're like always saying, "Listen to your intuition. You already
Mm.
have the answer." I'm
Mm.
like, "Okay." So I have learned to connect to my own, discernment and my own intuition, what my gut
Yeah.
tells me. Yeah.
And I'm finding that more and more as I speak to a lot of people is that coming back to yourself and coming back to your
Mhm.
inner voice. And that's why I called my business InnerVox, because
Mhm.
it's our inner voice, and our true authentic self will come out, and our purpose, we will find our purpose if we listen to ourselves. And
Absolutely.
it sounds like in your human design, the 1-3, that you've been trialing and
Mhm.
erroring all of that and doing your shadow work and finding that. So that sounds
Absolutely.
such a beautiful life story and journey that's unfolded for you, with a
Yeah.
lot of challenges there. But I feel that you've just beautifully
Yeah.
alchemized all of that to find your purpose now. So you work with your spirit guides. Can you explain to the listeners what is a spirit guide?
They are your chosen people that you picked prior to your birth here on earth. So before you came here as a physical being, you're of course a spirit. And this spirit team, they're your spirit guides are your chosen people, the ones that the chosen spirits that you trusted in this lifetime to guide you through your life journey here on earth. So before you came here, you said, "Hey, I want to go down to earth and I want to know what it feels like to do A, B, C, or D," right? So you have a journey that you want to get through. And they are chosen. You have to, of course, ask for them to do it with you, and they're trusted and you love them. These are your guides. They will make sure through your life journey here that you stay on track. So a lot of times we veer off and they make things happen to make you get back on because that's what you wanted to do prior to getting here. That's what you chose to do. So they're going to do everything they can to make sure they navigate you throughout your life for you to have these experiences. Now, how you get there, it doesn't matter. That's choice. That's how um, go through life. If everything is pre planned, it's boring, right? But they make sure that you hit these key points that you wanted to do throughout your life, that you wanted to experience, that you wanted to go through, challenges that you wanted to go through. And they're there to guide you through. Now, they help you with your lessons. That's what your spirit guides are. And they are chosen. You have chose them. You trust them. They love you unconditionally, and they're always there.
Are spirit guides different to your ancestors, or can they be the same thing?
They're the same. It's all in the same. They can be they're part of, like, your pod. Have you ever heard, like, they're your soul pod?
Your soul tribe.
Right, yep, they're the ones that so, like, for instance, this lifetime you said with your mom, "I want to go down this time. I'm gonna be your husband." So you can change. Like, I could be my father's wife next time.
Mm,
Or I could be my brother's daughter next time, or, like,
mm,
you change roles, or I'm gonna come down this time and I'm gonna be your girlfriend, or I'm gonna be your best friend this time. I'm gonna come in when you're 25 years old and I'm gonna meet you at the University of Chicago, and we're gonna
mm.
have the best friendship ever. Like, you come in, your soul tribe comes in at different points in your lifetime to help you through whatever lessons there is you need to learn. So that's what we tend to do. And your ancestors are your spirit guides most of the time, because my great grandmother is one of my spirit guides as well. Yeah. And you
Mm.
get specialized spirit guides throughout your life. So, like, if I want to learn how to play the guitar, I would get a specialized spirit guide for that. They'll drop in during that time and guide me through that process. And so they don't have to be there from birth to death. They can come in, they can interchange throughout your lifetime.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So, what about angels then? Because there are different archangels,
Mhm.
and are they spirit guides? Like, what's your definition of that?
No, no, archangels are not, and that's not my specialty. I'm totally spirit guides, but I do know we do have angels. We do have our own angels that help. Now they're the ones who love us through, unconditionally. They send you love, they make things happen, they stop things from happening. They have not been incarnated in this world. Like they don't like your spirit guides. Your spirit guides
Ah,
have been here
so
before,
the
more than
spirit guides
likely.
have lived on this earth.
Yes. Yes. They have been multiple times or just, I mean, thousands and thousands of times. We've been here so many times. But your angels are not. They are not. Anybody correct me if they want to, because that's not my thing. Angels are
Yeah,
not my
write
thing.
it in the
Spirit guides are
comments.
my thing. Right, right in the comments. But yeah, from what I know is that you definitely have, angels, but they're not meant to come here. They're not of this realm. They're not
Mm,
in that at all. They're unconditional love. So like you do have your archangels as well. And those are the ones that you call on. Like I call on Archangel Michael all the time for
mm.
protection. And I feel him a lot more than other angels. So,
Yes, I feel Archangel Michael more than others as well.
mhm.
One that keeps popping up for me is Mother Mary.
She's a
Yeah,
beautiful one.
and
Yeah.
Mother Teresa. Maybe it's M&T. Well, we were saying the other day that you're Mama T, aren't you?
Yep, I'm Mama T.
Mama
Yes,
T and
I am
Mother
Mama
M.
T. And I'm playing around and I'm like, I'm Mama T. And they're like, my spirit guides were laughing. They were literally laughing about that. They were like, yeah, call yourself Mama T. And I did it. And I was like, why did I do that? I don't want to be known as Mama T.
I think it's
And that's my
beautiful,
best video. That's my
Mama
best
T.
video. And it's stuck forever. So,
Right, Mama T from now on.
but your spirit guides they are your cheerleaders on the other side. And they like get you through your lessons.
What if your team's biggest breakthrough came from within? At InnerVox, we create tailored workshops for corporate companies that unlock confidence, communication, and collaboration. We're not your typical training. Our workshops are dynamic, experiential, laughter filled, and designed to create lasting transformation. We use creative techniques, performance psychology, and real human connection. We help your people build trust and express themselves and perform at their absolute best by listening to their intuition and their inner voice. Because when your people grow, your business also grows. Visit innervox.co.uk/corporate today and click the link in the description below. I'm really curious. I really want to bring in one of my spirit guides. Would you do that for me? No?
You want to
I'm a
bring in
bit
yours?
scared. I'm a bit scared.
You want to
Yeah.
bring in yours?
Yeah, will you
Okay.
do that? Do you
Well,
have
sure,
do you
absolutely.
have
You want
space
to
for
do
that?
that right now?
Okay, go on,
Okay.
let's go. I'm
Okay.
scared.
Don't be scared.
Okay. What do
Okay.
I do? Do I
Oh,
connect
just
you?
just you we already did meditation. We already deep went in. We're already in the space, so don't worry about it. I'll just do a quick prayer. I close our or to everything but our higher selves, God consciousness, our guardians, and our spirit guides. And we ask that Archangel Michael protect this line of communication and this channel so that it is only of the love and light that we know. Amen. Um, so Melissa, can you please say your entire name for me?
My birth name is Melissa Park. My stage name, Melissa Rose.
Okay, they know you as your birth name because that is the name that they sing on your birthday. That's your vibration every year.
Mm.
So it's such a beautiful name. Okay. All right.
Okay, so for everyone that's listening and not on the video, Mama T is holding up these
The
rods,
dowsing rods.
dowsing rods in front of her.
Yes. Yes. These are dowsing rods and these are what I use to connect. I don't need them. I have direct communication physically with my spirit guides, but I am an energy weaver. I actually can move energy uh, and remove energy. So, yeah, or I can remove entities off of people as well. So, I use the rod so that you can ask yes or no questions. And I call in your spirit guides. I asked them to come forward. So I just asked for your name, your entire name. And I asked that Melissa Park spirit guides come forward, please. Do you give me permission, Melissa, to call
Yes.
in your spirit guides? Okay, thank you. Melissa Park, spirit guides, hello. How are you guys? Oh, thank you for the hug. Ah, that was such a blessing. Thank you. Okay, they gave me a hug. That was your spirit guides.
Wow.
Can you please show Melissa a yes for me? That's a yes.
Okay.
Can you show Melissa a no for me?
So, for the purpose of the audio, the dowsing rods just went all the way down around Tia's neck for a little hug, and then one of the rods went to the side for a yes, and the other one went to the other side for a no.
Okay, thank you, spirit. Thank you. All right. So, Melissa, these are your spirit guides. So, if
Mm.
there's any questions that you would like to ask, you can definitely ask.
Ooh. So, do I need to ask a yes or no question?
Yes.
Okay. I have a real connection with my grandma on my mum's side, and I want to know if she's one of my spirit guides. Mm.
Yes. Oh, that's a big yes. Yes.
Yeah, could really
Uh-huh.
feel that.
Do you ever feel her?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you. I also have a connection on my dad's side, for my dad's mum, and I want to know if she's also one of my spirit guides.
Is Melissa's
My dad's mum,
dad's mom?
yeah, my grandmother on my dad's side, is she one of my spirit guides?
I'm getting a no.
Mm,
Okay. Yeah. All right. You guys
okay.
got anything for me to channel to her? Okay. No? Okay. All right.
I really don't know what to ask. What do I ask?
Anything about your podcast, whatever you want to ask.
Oh gosh, I'm stunned. I literally am
Anything
like,
in your
whoa, that was
anything
just
in
a
your
lot. Like I
future?
think just about my
Right.
grandma, I'm like, whoa, that's a
Right.
huge yes.
So now you know which one is on the other side.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know. Yeah.
Um, have you been trying to communicate with me?
Yes. Okay. Do
Okay.
you instinctively know what they're trying to communicate with you?
I
Do you
think
know what it
so.
is?
I think I know what they're trying to communicate, but sometimes I'm getting a little bit lost in the communication. I get a
And they're
lot of
saying yes, you're getting lost in it. Yes.
yes, I get a lot of signs and synchronicities a lot all the time. I have
Okay.
like numerology, there's
Okay.
nature, we've got animal signs as well. Are they all from you?
Are all the synchronicities from you,
Are all the
spirit?
signs and synchronicities from my spirit guides?
No.
Mm,
So it's your discernment of which ones
yeah.
that you need to figure out which ones that are really connecting. Is it when she's thinking about something in particular? Is that what you guys are when you're sending synchronous? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's when
So
you're
when
whatever you're thinking about at that time, sometimes
and
that's
then
when
I
they're
get a synchronicity is what it
yeah,
is
that's
about.
when it's usually aligned. Yeah. That's
Okay,
usually
so it's so if I'm just seeing something randomly out the blue and I don't know if I'm not thinking that thought or if I'm not aware of the consciously aware of the thought and I think I need to be more conscious of the thought, is that what they're saying?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get more
That was a
conscious of
yes.
it. Yeah. A deep yes, because they hit my neck.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
saw. Okay. Okay, so I need to be more aware of my thoughts.
Yeah. Aware oh,
Yeah.
they gave
Well,
me a
they're
double
both
yeah.
they're both they're both moving.
When they do that double, like, they be like, "Emphasize."
Mhm. Yes. Okay, well, because
Emphasize.
I think I'm quite consciously aware of my thoughts, so maybe I'm not.
Well, they don't
Okay,
lie, so
okay, so there's obviously some things that, some programs that are running that I need to be aware of. Yes, the double rod. Ooh.
oh,
Oh, That was double rod on the neck. And Tia, you're not moving these on your own.
I can't. They
Oh,
spin.
wow. So, okay,
They
they spin at
spin.
the bottom. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
There's no way I could do anything. Yeah, no, this is totally I
These are
can't.
my spirit guides.
Yeah, you guys let go. Let go. See? They letting go.
Okay, okay.
They're letting go. Okay, take control again.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good way to show people because people be thinking you're controlling. I can't control
Yeah,
these.
I think
Yeah,
my
they're on the
my
rod.
inner child is like, what is going
Yeah,
on?
I
And
can't.
like
My hands are
also another
steady.
part of my brain is like it's like going back to one of my memories of when I was in my previous relationship and his dad came in with these dowsing rods and we all looked at him like, what are you doing? And I
Mhm.
just felt this like I feel this a bit of sadness now, like thinking back to that moment of like, oh wow, what am I doing right now? And I'm really like communicating with
Yeah,
my spirit guides and
and they're
yeah,
like,
it just
"Yes."
feels oh,
Oh,
that was sweet. Thank you.
yeah,
The rod just moved towards the yes.
yeah.
Um, okay, let's think of another question. Okay, so this business that I'm doing
Oh,
with my
here we
corporate
go.
workshops,
Okay.
is this my path that I need to be focusing on right now? Wow.
Yes. It gave you a double yes, which
Yeah.
is a very strong emphasis. Okay.
Mm.
Anything
Oh, I
else?
feel a bit emotional.
Oh, don't. It's okay. That's what I told you when I do these, people
Yeah.
get a little bit emotional. It's okay. Breathe through it. Breathe through it.
Breathing.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not having me channel anything, so they said no. So it's okay. It's just you need yes or no questions for now.
Interesting that they're not allowing that channeling to come through because I think my intuition is that if that happened, I probably would have not believed you.
Yeah. That's what they're
Oh,
saying. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Need to
Yep.
take my glasses off.
So you just follow your own intuition. How about that? Okay,
Yeah.
you can channel them on your own. You really can, but you just gotta get quiet and still and feel them. Okay,
Mm.
but yeah, I'm sorry, but this is a part of my
Don't be
course, you
sorry.
guys. You will go
This
through
is
this
this is
phase.
this is
This
my
will,
awakening happening on screen for
yeah,
people to watch.
yeah, yeah. This shocks people, but this is part of my course. You have to get yourself aligned for this, but when you start working towards the listening part with mastering your dowsing, that's when you start feeling connected and um, downloading and aligning yourself. Because see, now they're telling you exactly what you should be doing, and a lot of people that is the beauty of being connected to your spirit guides. It's a flow. You flow, and your life you're gonna have challenges, but you can make it through better with your connection because you don't feel so ungrounded. You don't feel the world could be collapsing around you, but you can still feel grounded because you know, like, I'm being guided
Mm.
and this is the experience I'm supposed to have. And
Yeah.
so once you get into that space, you'll feel perfectly aligned and like, I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And I'm okay.
I generally on a day-to-day
They can
basis,
say
I feel
yes.
so
Yes.
aligned. I feel so
Mhm,
aligned generally.
mhm,
And but there is
mhm,
that element of doubt when it comes to my business that I'm like,
mhm.
is this really where I need to go? And then I have these surges of like, yes, and this fire, and I just
Well,
really like
you're
move
right.
forward with it. And then there's like blockages which I just can't seem to move past. So um yeah, it feels yeah, thank you for showing that and for
Mostly we
bringing them
block
in.
ourselves. Mostly we block ourselves.
Yeah.
That's because we feel like
These
There's
programs that I'm
scarcity.
running.
Yeah, the scarcity and the limits that we put on ourselves because we're conditioned. We're conditioned. There's double yes. Thank
Yeah.
you. We're conditioned, you know, because if we become too big, we pretty much we threaten other people with how big we could really be.
Mm,
We people that are limited, that feel that they are limited, and they see that you can move and
mm,
that you feel limitless,
mm.
they feel threatened by you, and you
Yeah.
remind them that they're not doing what they could possibly do.
Yeah. And
You remind
that is essentially everything about
Spirit said yes.
there we go. That is essentially everything about my business and these
Mhm,
workshops that I hold is to allow people to come back to their own inner voice and their true authentic self so that
mhm,
they can be the
mhm,
biggest version and best version of themselves
mhm.
to then be able to do what they want to do in their world to
Right,
then be them their bright shining light so that it helps other
right,
people.
right.
And so
They're
yeah, we
saying
are all
yeah,
mirrors for each other.
yeah,
We are all mirrors. So if
yeah.
I am triggering somebody,
Mhm,
it's an invitation for us to look in ourselves to be like, why am I feeling like this? And
yeah,
why what is it in me that's triggering you?
yeah.
Um and I often feel the same. I often go about my day and if I'm feeling triggered by
Mhm.
something, I look into myself and think, why? Why did that trigger me? Where is
Right,
this coming from? What
right.
story am I telling myself again? And that
But
is essentially what we were saying
yeah,
earlier about shadow work and
yeah,
doing the work. Um,
yeah. But you're
thank you.
emotionally intelligent, though. A lot of people have not grown to be emotionally intelligent, and that's where a lot of us have, fell off the track is because we are not emotionally intelligent enough to be self-aware, to start asking those hard questions.
Mm,
They don't wanna know those questions because then it's painful, it hurts. Well, thank you, guys. It hurts. It really does because now it shows that you have some things to do, some work to do, some
mm,
things to evaluate and to ascend and get at a higher level of your higher self, be your higher self, you know? And a lot of people are sleepwalking. They
yes.
don't they're not
And
there yet. And so
yeah, and it's comfortable to stay where we know. And
absolutely.
it's not being in that uncomfortable space is not comfortable. But we need to
Mhm.
get comfortable with being uncomfortable because
Comfortable.
when we are
Oh,
uncomfortable, we grow.
my spirit guy says that all the time.
Mm,
Get comfortable making other people feel uncomfortable, and yourself as well, right?
mm,
So, get comfortable with that.
mm.
And I'm like, "Ooh." That's hard. It's hard to do.
Yeah.
It's hard to do. It is.
It's I
Yeah.
think for me, it was hard
Uh-huh.
and it still is a challenge. I don't like to use the word
Mhm.
hard. I like to use the word challenge because I feel like we can make things harder than they need to be.
Absolutely.
And
That's
I
the
think
human
that
way.
yes. And
It's the
I
human
think
way. Mhm.
we can make life easier for ourselves.
Mhm.
But we want to stay small. The
Absolutely.
mind wants to stay small.
'Cause it's safe.
Mm.
It's safer, right? If you
Because
leave the
because
herd
it's what we know. But
I told you.
if we knew
Hey.
what was on the other side, like
Mhm.
if my child knew what I was doing now, they would be like,
Mhm.
"What are you talking about?" If little Tia knew that she would
Mhm.
like go through the 25 years and the pastor and the marriage and all of that and be doing this now,
Mhm. Yeah.
Our brains wouldn't be able to comprehend it.
We wouldn't even be able to do it. Like, I would like, if I knew what they really wanted me to do, like, it's been in steps. Like, what I'm doing right now is stair steps. So it's
Mm.
like you only know what's ahead of you, like, 1 step ahead of you. They don't give you 5 steps ahead of you because
Yeah.
you'll bolt, you'll run. You're like, "No way, I'm not doing that," right?
Yeah.
So it's like they building you up to get to that space, right? So and that's how I look at my life because your life purpose is not stagnant. It's always evolving and it gets you to the next purpose.
Mm.
So, thank you, spirit. Yes. It gets you to the next purpose. Your purpose, if I didn't do what I did in my 20s, I couldn't get to where I am right now. So my purpose is always changing.
Yeah.
It's always developing and it's always
Mhm.
building on itself. So my purpose is not the same as it was 2 years ago, you
Yeah.
know? So
And in 2
it's
years, it might be even
Mhm.
more different or more developed
Yeah,
or
yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
they gotta get you to that next step. So it's
Uh-huh.
like, this is your purpose for now. Focus on
Mhm.
that. And then the next thing comes and it's like, oh, then I step into that and then it goes to the next one and then it goes to the
Mhm.
next one. So I don't think people can ever say like, this is just my purpose. Yeah, it's your purpose for now. And then it evolves. Yeah.
Thank you,
So
Tia. I think
that's
I've
my
asked the
opinion.
questions that I need to ask. I wanna
Okay.
ask you questions now.
Okay. Okay. Well, you want me to, let's end the dowsing for you. So I'm going to release Melissa, her spirit guides. I thank you. If you would like to give her a hug, please. Aw, thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate you for coming and allowing us to do this live. So
Thank you, spirit
thank
guides.
you. Thank you. Goodbye. All right, they're done.
Wow.
So those were your spirit guides.
That was cool.
Yeah. So
That was
that's what I
really
teach
cool.
people to do that on their own so they can connect with their own spirit guides.
That was really cool. I wanna do it again when I have prepared more questions.
Well, yeah, like, but that's different when you got a session with me. You're prepared.
Yeah.
You paid
I was
for it, you know what you wanna
yeah,
ask, you already know what's
I was not prepared for that to happen today, but, I loved
no,
every second of it. Thank you so much, Tia.
thank you.
But I wanna ask you more about, like, how that came about, like, where did you
Sorry, my
learn to
hair
do
just fell
that?
apart.
Oh, your hair just wants to be free.
It just fell apart.
Oh, yeah, and we have a quick change with the hair. So in musical theatre world, this is what happens when we, like, we do a quick change.
Yeah, mid-change. Okay. All right.
You're beautiful.
Thank you.
I wanna know how this happened for you, like, where did this gift come into your life? When did it come into your life?
Well, I saw this one lady, because I've already always been connected. I always felt something there, and I've always known that I was being guided. So I dream. I'm a lucid dreamer, so I dream things. I know what's gonna happen. I see people. I do a lot of traveling at night. So I knew that I could do a lot of things. But when I saw this lady named Karen ask the spirit guides, actually started doing it, and I was like, "Huh." I ordered it and ordered the Dawson rods and was like, "I wondered how this worked." And I saw her doing it on there, and I learned a couple of things from her, start digging in and, like you said, we investigate. So I started investigating and like, how do you do this? And what is. And soon as I got them, they started working, like, soon. I was like, "Oh, I guess I was supposed to do this." And I literally started crying because I'm like, I can actually see and you talk yourself out of it. Sometimes you'd be like, "No, this can't be real." Like,
Yeah.
whatever. and you start asking questions that that is wrong, and kind of like playing around because you're just like, there's no way that this could be real. And yes, it is real, right? So I started developing myself. I started asking them questions to develop me, to figure out how can I help people with it. They started helping me put it together. And I was like, okay, I'm good at coaching. So how can I help people with their blockages, with trying to figure out their purpose? Are they in alignment? Can I do readings with them? Yes, you can. So that's how it all started. I saw Karen on Ask the Spirit Guides do it. There was another lady who was doing it too, but Karen resonated with me. So I was just like, I trust her, that I'm not going to hurt myself. And I knew, the spirit realm, you have to be very careful because you can bring in negative as well as
Mm.
positive. And so you have to make sure that you're protecting yourself and you know how to handle it if it happens to you. And so once they knew that my light was on, I started getting all kind of energies coming in. They're like,
Wow.
"Oh, yeah." So you have to be really aware of what you're doing. This is not to play around with. Like a lot of people just get them and then start playing. I'm like, oh, and so I get a lot of emails. Oh, I think I got a dark entity. Oh my God, I'm scared. And see, you can't go in afraid because you're
Yeah.
going to attract that kind of energy towards you. You have to be
Mm.
the energy you want in
Yes.
the space, right? So that's how it started for me, playing around with it, and well, not playing around with it, but trying it for myself and seeing, actually, is this really real? Right. And just like you, I was looking like, what? What? And then when I saw it actually in person, when I got it and saw that it's on an actual barrel, like you can't control it if you wanted to, I was like,
Mm.
oh, so yeah, this, you cannot control it.
Mm.
Not at all.
Yeah. Wow. Um, okay, so that's where it started, and then you then use that within your coaching, and you also do tarot as well and oracle cards
Yes, I do
readings.
Oracle more so than Tarot. I like Oracle because Oracle cards are tarot cards are the
Can
same.
you
Like,
explain the difference between them? What's the difference between them, and what
it's
are
what
they?
resonates. Like the Oracle cards have beautiful colors and animals and people and tribal. It can be whatever you resonate with. They come in multiple numbers, multiple types, multiple sizes. The tarot is basically a card that is determined already. It's like, it is what it is. It's a, you know, um 6 of wands or whatever, you got the fool, you got this. With oracle cards, they range. It's so diverse. It's whatever resonates with you. You can like spirit animals, you can like cards that have angels. It's whatever. It's so many options. It's I love it because I
Mm.
pick what resonates with my spirit guides and what I can communicate with them. So you actually, in my course, you learn how to pick your oracle cards with your spirit guides. So they'll pick the best oracle cards for you and what they would like to talk to you about. So that's how I use my spirit guides. I'll ask them for a particular um, deck today. Like, is there a particular deck that you want to communicate through today? And they'll pick the decks, you know. And I also do that with the clients too. I ask their spirit guides, is there a particular deck would you would like me to work with? And they'll tell me the deck.
Mm.
So, and that's how I give the message through that. And so, yeah.
Mm.
Um,
When you are communicating with your spirit guides,
mhm.
some people, um let's use me as an example. So when I
Okay.
feel like I'm connected to my spirit guides, or I'm asking a question, and for example, I might be seeing my candle flicker, and
Mhm. Mhm.
I connected with a candle and knew it was my grandma, and that's why I asked you that question, because I wanted to know if that was her, and I really did feel her presence then, and she was communicating with me with a yes or a no with the flicker of the candle. Yes being one flicker, two being completely still and not moving at all.
Mhm.
How can I verify my experience that I know that that's my grandma, and to remove the doubt there?
You can ask for a sign. So, like, for me, for instance, I ask for a physical sign.
Mm.
So I will ask, um, can you give me a physical sign? Can you scratch me? Or like give me like my spirit guides will tickle my belly button to wake me up. So like if I need to wake up for something, I'll use them as an alarm clock. Like like, hey, wake me, don't let me sleep past so and so time. And they'll be like, "Tick, tick, tick." They'll tickle me up my belly. So you can ask for a physical sign. You can ask for a light flicker. You can ask for anything to help you, and they will get that to you. So,
Mm.
like, for instance, if you say, I want to go on this trip. I want to go to Greece. Let me know, universe, whether or not this is for me to do. Like, I need, I give you a week to give me a sign that I need to go on this trip. Like, this is a good trip to go on.
Mm.
All of a sudden, now you need to be aware. When you ask this, you have to be aware. You have to make sure that you're listening. All of your senses are involved in this. So once you ask that, you give them a week. Go outside, go wherever you're going, and just listen. More than likely, you're going to hear someone talking about going there. They're going to say, "Oh, that was the best trip ever. I went to Greece." And you're going to like, what is the chances
Mhm.
of somebody talking about Greece, Or something to pop up on TV that you're
Mm.
you're watching TV and all of a sudden there is some kind of ad like you need to go on this trip, da 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 da. Da. Or you'll get the opposite. You'll Someone will say, "Oh, that was horrible. The people there, they didn't talk, they didn't da 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 da." So the universe will give you these signs. You
I'm
just
sorry,
have
I'm laughing. Do you know why I'm laughing?
why?
Because I
It's
literally
happened to
just got
you.
I literally just got my sign literally as you were talking. So
Don't you love spirit?
I,
Did
so
you really?
I feel like I need to do a screenshot or something. I'm gonna do a quick screenshot
No,
of
I
my
believe
screen.
you. I
No,
I
no.
I trust and believe you.
So okay, so on my screen I can hit mark clip. And I
Uh-huh.
told you this at the beginning, didn't I? You can click mark clip when you want
Mhm.
to, so I can go back when I edit this podcast. I can have a look at the specific moments of when I want to put this into the podcast episode. And I kid you not, it said 011111 when I hit it.
Sign. Yep.
And okay, so I'll tell you what was going through my thoughts then, because I was
Okay.
consciously aware of my thoughts when I hit it
Yeah, we
and I
just
got the
talked
sign.
about that.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did. So, okay, so the question I need to ask you, Tia, is okay, so when I'm out there and I'm asking for this sign, is it
Mhm.
not just I know the answer to this, but I want you to answer it. Is it not just my mind just searching for it and looking for these signs?
No, that's not how it works. You can't make an experience happen in the spirit realm. That's not how it works. It happens when it's a synchronicity. So it's like it happens right when they know they need to drop it on you. Like it's not going to just you can't force it. You can't force it. That's just like me like, "Oh, I always see 11111 and now it's like 1110." And you're like, "I'm going to look back when it's 111." Like it doesn't work that way. It just like it just happens. It's not like something that you can force. It's nothing that you can make happen. And if you don't believe it, it'll happen to you again until you
Yeah.
finally come to the conclusion, like, okay, there's no way that,
Yeah.
there's no way that I could make that happen. Like,
And I can just hear people now saying, like, "Oh, well, Melissa just saw the time on there, and so she clicked the mark
no,
clip."
no, no, it
I
doesn't work that way.
hand on my heart did not. And actually, the thought that went through
Doesn't work
before
that
I
way.
hit the mark clip was, "Oh, there's so much that we
Right.
were talking about earlier that I was just so engrossed
No.
and so present in the conversation that I didn't even remember to click mark clip." So I'm gonna have to go back and watch this all in its totality and find the moments now to put it into the hook. But it
There's
was
so much
like,
that happened.
oh,
Right.
yeah, it's been a great episode already, and I have still so many more questions to ask you. But these signs, I feel, are for me. I've had so many signs. I asked for a pink elephant to
Mhm,
the universe, and um, I went to the hospital after having surgery on my ACL, my meniscus, and I went to A&E, and I felt like I didn't need to go, but I knew there was a reason why I was going there.
mhm,
Um, and I thought it was maybe, trust my intuition was the
mhm,
lesson, and it was trust my intuition was the lesson, because as I was there in A&E for 14 hours, I kid you not, I'm walking from one part of the hospital to the next, and on the floor there's these pink circles with elephants on there, and
oh, wow.
and the it's not just any elephant, by the way. It's an elephant with crutches, and its knee was bandaged, exactly like what I was in. Like
Oh,
you can't make that up.
you can't. There's no way. That's why I'm like, these things that happen like that, you can't make that happen.
No.
You
And
can't
then the
you
other
can't make
day,
it. You
I was
can't.
asking I asked the universe to send me a pineapple. My mum comes in. We don't we don't have pineapples that often, but, like, she comes in and goes, "Oh, I bought a pineapple." And I literally burst into tears, and she was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "I just asked the universe for a pineapple."
Synchronicities, I mean,
Yeah.
that's another part, the direct communication with you don't need a tool, you don't need anything. You can actually have direct communication, but dowsing actually help you get to that space of believing. That's why I like the dowsing, because if I would not have the dowsing and read to someone or channel with someone, they'll be like, I still don't believe you. Right? Like there's still that doubt there. And I've had clients like that doubted right before they had a session with me and left like, oh my God. So
Yeah.
it's a good tool to have so that people can see, but you don't have to have it. You don't have to have it. But once it helps you with your belief a little bit. It kind of helps you with the belief, like, okay, this
Mm.
is really happening
I mean,
and I
I
need to
invite you
trust it.
listening, and you're having that, um that doubt, and that part of your brain is going, I just don't believe this. Try it. See what happens. Ask the universe for a sign. Get some dowsing rods, and see if you connect with it. If there's some sort of curiosity there and you're like, let me just see, try it for yourself. Um, yeah, it for me, it's worked wonders, and it's helped me along my journey and led me to some beautiful things. And yeah, I invite everyone to do that. I just wanted to touch on you spoke about shadow work and spiritual hygiene.
Mhm. Oh
Can you
yeah.
explain what kind of spiritual hygiene things we need to be doing to protect us from maybe darker energies or entities that want to I don't
Hmm.
like to use the word feed off our light, but how would you
They
describe it?
do. They absolutely do. They're like energy vampires. You know, I would say surround yourself with people that are positive. That's a good way of staying in a high vibration. Uh, get out in nature, ground yourself, take your shoes off, walk outside in the grass, connect with nature more, uh, sit with yourself, A lot of people are too busy. They're
Mm.
just they're not taking the time to connect with themselves and ask, "How are you doing?" Like, ask yourself, "How are you feeling today?" And sit with that and cleanse whatever that is. If you feel like crying today, if you tap into your emotions, actually purge. That's spiritual hygiene, purging whatever is whatever is clogged up in whatever chakra. If it's your throat chakra, it's your crown chakra, whatever you're clogged up at, tap into it and see, are you feeling insecure? Are you blocked creatively? Are you not loving? Are you not speaking to people with love? Um, are you watching too much social media? Are you watching too much news? Are you connected to negative input? Anything that you're consuming, you have to pay attention to those things. That's spiritual hygiene. Being aware of where you um, are putting yourself. Are you putting yourself in spaces that will cause you to act negatively? For instance, are you around people that drink all the time and you lose control of yourself? Um, those are things that you need to be aware. That's spiritual hygiene because um, those are things that stick to you. It's like gum to your soul. Like it just, and if you're not doing things to clear it out, you're going to carry it throughout your day. You're going to carry it
Mm.
throughout your week. You're going to carry it throughout your year. So, doing things like doing energy clearings for yourself, um, uh, saging, meditating. Like I said, get out in nature. If you're close to an ocean, go swim. If you're by a mountain, go climb it, but connect with nature. That is the
Mm.
original, the OG of grounding
Mm.
is getting outside. And like you, Melissa, take the socks off,
Yeah.
um, and put your feet in the grass, lay on the
Mm.
grass, and just daydream, dare to dream, go play. That's spiritual hygiene. Listen to high
Mm.
vibrational music, play, sing. Um, you know, if you know how to play an instrument, please do that as much as you can. Um, do things that make you lose track of time. And that's part of your spiritual hygiene. People think that they need to sit there and meditate like you're a monk or something. Like I can't, my brain doesn't allow me to do that too much. Like I can't do that for a very long time. I may be able to do it for 5 minutes, but I'm a busybody. So I'll give myself 5 minutes,
She's
but
a
I need to go
manifesting
out.
generator.
Yeah, yeah. I'm walking, I'm going to walk and I'm manifesting as I'm walking. I'm thinking about like what I want to come towards me. So that is the thing that I do for spiritual hygiene. Of course, that is like my first phase in my course is spiritual hygiene. That is it. You have to get yourself prepared to douse. You can't just go into dousing and thinking that it's going to be a good thing. You need to get yourself ready for that.
Hmm. And there are many ways, there's different things work for different people. Like I can meditate for 2 hours, for example, but that might not work for you. And
It may not.
there are ways that we can meditate. Meditating is like being present with this conversation. We're having a meditation right now by being present with each other.
Exactly.
When you go into the shower, imagine that the shower is cleansing you. Have that cleansing
Yeah.
ritual there, as you said, going into nature and grounding your feet
Yeah.
to the floor, being present, breathing with the connection of the earth, feel the vibration of the earth. We're meditating in that
Yeah.
moment,
Yep.
looking
Yep.
at a leaf and its structures and things like that, being present like that. That's meditating. So there's other ways that we can do it.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. People
and
always, oh, I got to sit for hours. Like you don't have to. You have to find what works for you.
yeah. And that might
Mhm.
work one day and the next day it might not. So listen to
Yeah.
your body and what it's telling you to do.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Before we end, Tia, is there anything that you want to talk more about that we haven't touched on today?
Actually, right now we're in a space in the world of a lot of um tower moments, let's put it like that. There's a lot of destruction, there is a lot of chaos, and there is a lot of deception and misinformation and things that'll make us feel unstable. And right now, I just would like for everyone to find their space where they can decompress and disconnect from all that is happening right now in the world. Get yourself into a space of connecting with yourself and grounding. I think that's what we need to do right now is ground
Mm,
and know that we are protected, we are safe
mm,
within ourselves, no matter what is going on in the world. And you know, talk to your spirit guides. That's all I can say about that.
mm.
Connect with them. They got the answers to help you um, through this journey. So connect with them.
Yeah,
They
we
got
spoke
your back.
about that a
Mhm.
couple of days ago, that grounding is so important at the moment with astrologically what's happening in the planets. We've got about 8 orbiting to 8
Oh,
to
yeah, in
10
Aries.
planets in
In
Aries.
Aries.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and,
Mhm.
the new moon in Aries as well, and a lot of truth and just, as you said, deception is coming out for us to all be aware of, and it is a time for us to be grounded within that, because otherwise we get swept up in that chaos of that
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, that turmoil and that, tornado. So, if we can be that calm within the storm, we can be grounded and
Yeah.
move through with the inner peace and clarity that we need to move forward with our whatever that is, our purpose is in this moment.
Yeah.
Um, Thank you so much for your time,
Thank
Tia.
you.
There's a couple more questions that I wanna ask you that I ask all my guests before we end. What's one piece of advice that you'd give someone who's lost and trying to find their purpose?
Oh, find your joy. That's where you'll find your purpose. What do you do? What would you do if there was no risk? If you wouldn't lose everything? If you had no kind of loss in the game of doing whatever you want to do? What would you do? What would bring you joy? And find
Mm.
that. Because once you do, you'll find your purpose.
Oh, it's like
You'll find it.
going back to my first question, what sparks joy in you?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love that. Thank you.
yeah.
Where can people find out more about you and the amazing offerings and work that you're doing in the world? You have the Connected Space community.
Mhm,
You have
mhm.
one-to-one sessions. So where can people find you to do this?
Well, you can definitely find me on YouTube at Healing Gurl. The girl is with a U, not an I. And there you can find how to connect with me to do one on one. I'm on Calendly, of course, and I do one on one sessions for energy clearings and readings. So, what you just saw, what I did with Melissa, it's a little bit more in depth, of course, because on here we're not going to go deep into questions, but yeah, it's a really a good power hour with me. I do that. And then also, I'll be offering coming within like 2 months, the Spirit Guide Mastery course that I have where you will learn how to douse for yourself. And I will be offering also as a bonus on how to actually to offer that as a like as a coach yourself to help others with dowsing and do energy clearings and readings as well. So that is coming forward, yeah, in 2 months. And you can email me at contact at thehealinggirl.com if you want to send me an email. I love emails.
We love an email, and I will put all of those contact details into the show description. So please be sure to check that out if you would like to get in contact with Tia. Thank you so much, Tia, for sharing your voice, your wisdom, all of your experiences from a little girl 4 to now, and sharing all this beautiful synchronicities live on the podcast. And it's been such a pleasure having you on this episode. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Melissa. It was a pleasure just having this conversation with you. I've never had a podcast, reach out to me, which was awesome. I did a podcast a long time ago, but not a spiritual podcast. And this was awesome. Thank you
We
so
love
much.
everything spirituality, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you for listening. And I hope this helps it helps you or somebody else to shine your light and shine bright. So if you enjoyed this episode, please like this video and share it with another one who you feel might need to hear it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that button and comment below your thoughts on this episode or your spiritual awakening experience, and share your voice. I love hearing and reading all about your comments and replying to them. So I'm sending so much love. Until next time, see you in the next episode.